So in the Eastern and the traditional martial arts, although I think it's going the other way, people would say that these have been but now I feel like we have to reverse extreme. But you get the point, and I get the point, you know. Size, power, etc., etc., okay. But if it always seems to culminate in cheating, then what's the point? If everyone's cheating, what is the point of doing it at all? And I think this is when you go to this sort of radical extremist, that's what you end up with. Is cheating, You see, so again, yes. That's fine. And nutrition, diet. These are all good. That's a good thing. Unless if you're only doing it to show off, I'm not sure if that is a good thing metaphysically. Metaphysically. And again, if you're going to do cheating, then what is the point of having nutrition? Because that'll just destroy your body anyway. So what's the point? Again, other than to sort of show off or to just so-called win, but you haven't really won if everyone's cheating, then it just kind of destroys the point of the whole situation. So this is probably the key. This is probably the answer. A balance between these. Although the big thing here that I think a lot of Westerners are losing sight of, right, is it's the non-physical. It's the mindset and the mentality and the mental toughness. It's the non-physical. You've got the meditation, you've got the Zen mind approach philosophy. It's a lot of this. And then again, metaphysics, how the non-physical translates into the physical realm with chi power and things like this. So again, not the sort of westernized sort of projection of it, but the reality of it, because there's a lot of cultural mistranslation and things. So sometimes these things are Western projections. These misunderstandings, they're not actually what it says in Eastern philosophy. It's just, again, Western, and you see, that's what it is really. So if you have to take the pure form as much as is possible. You see, you have to take it for what it is in that culture rather than projecting. Again, it's come from the sort of the 1600s rationalist sort of thing, but gone berserk, taken to too much extremism. Yeah, so don't project, take it for what it is for itself. Don't make it into something it's not, because that's not the idea. And then it's not even what the argument is if you're saying this is I don't know, woo-woo or whatever. It's not. What you're talking about is, again, a false image. It's not the actual pure Eastern organic thing. It's you're changing it into something else. Take it for what it actually is. So that's what a lot of that is, and I think that's, and also in, because the kung fu practitioners, maybe they were smaller, originally. So that's where the strong emphasis on technique comes from, because you can't use power when you're smaller. You have to use technique because it's kind of the only option, which is where you get like the, iron palm, chin, all those have come from, technique, and again, I'm not talking here about the Western projection. I'm talking about what that actually is, which again is, maybe it's blood flow, maybe it's this mental toughness, maybe it's something that Western science hasn't figured out yet. I don't know, and I don't. Again, the people that project, I don't think they know. So, but just imagine. And here's one. Never seen this, but maybe some people have in a video. Where people do like crazy feats of strength. So I heard the Australian Tai Chi master called Earl Montague, and Bagwazang master as well, and he talk about internal martial arts there, so again, just try and figure out, but don't project, or misproject rather. Yeah. So absolutely, and the thing is, people tend, so you would say normal people tend towards the orthodox side, which is, I would say, 100% yes. I tend towards the alternative side very extremely. Okay, so yes, there's biases on both ends. There's biases, yes, but I think the trick is not to go bananas in one direction, because then you just lose all the logic and just it goes out the window. So keep sight of that, don't misproject, and yeah, these are all good, but at the end of the day, it's basically necessity. It's basically necessity and self-defense. You see, if you actually, I'm not talking about sport combat, I'm not talking about, if you actually attacked all your family and you actually have, they're bigger and you're smaller, and you have to use some sort of method, call it technique, call it method, call it strategy, you have to use some sort of thing, strategy, because, or you go under. So that's a good way of thinking about, rather than sport combat. Again, yes, there's good to Western, stuff, as long as it's not gone berserk and gone extreme materialist. If it's taken, as I say, with the pinch of salt, here, then it's fine. So, the mindset's totally different. It's a bit like a military mindset, almost. Than a sport combat mindset. Again, nothing wrong with sport combat. I'm just saying, what would you do? If you had, the person's bigger, or the power fighter, you have to use technique. You can't use strength. They're bigger, whatever. And thinking here, and again, the mindset, like the Zen, or the Zen mindset. I know it's more Japanese, the Zen, but just, just totally different mental mindset, mental philosophy. Totally different to, again, the sport combat. Just horses for courses, as they say. But if you had to, what would you do? You see, defensive defense of, yourself, and defense of self and family, right? So different mindset, different, extreme situation, kind of. So I think this is maybe where the IMA, internal martial arts, is coming in here. You see, the internal martial arts. So, all right, I'll leave it there for now. But stuff to think about there. Yeah. And I'm learning too about the Western stuff, because I was never really into it. I always thought it was very rigid and, but the diet, nutrition and stuff, and the Western fitness, and that has its merits. And as I say, if you're very biased on the Western side, try and think about these things having the merits, try and get in the realms of this idea. Okay.